Tesla gave the Model Y a lot of glass, which is great for visibility but not so great for summer heat. Today, we're fixing that with a full XPEL XR Prime Plus ceramic tint install, the highest performing tint XPEL offers. Let's see if it really keeps the cabin cooler and makes driving more comfortable.
All right, everyone, I just got my car tinted with XPEL Prime XR Plus tints. I'm gonna show you here in this video what that process looks like, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about why I did this tint on my car. This is my third vehicle in a row now that I've gotten tinted. First, originally was my Lexus CT200H. I purchased it used, it had tints on it. So when I got my first Model Y, which is my 2020 Model Y, with the huge roof glass and everything, it just felt like a huge greenhouse inside. So I got these ceramic tints, and I got the best ceramic tints on the market, which is the XPEL Prime XR Plus. It blocks more UVA and UVB rays than any other tint on the market, and it blocks more infrared heat than any other tint on the market as well. So this is the absolute best tint here. I could have gone with a cheaper solution, which would be the XPEL XR Black or the XPEL XR Prime. However, I figured if I'm spending the money to get it tinted, rather than regretting the couple extra $100, I'd rather just get the full best tint on the market. And obviously it looks great too from the outside, but for privacy reasons, for heat, the biggest reason I've done this for is for the heat rejection. The car already, just getting in it, there's zero heat in the car now from the sun. So this is great. The car looks so much better too. Obviously with the ceramic tint, you can get whatever percentage of tint that you'd like. So a little bit of explanation on tints. So for those of you that may be considering tints, but you've never had a tint before and you don't know what the different numbers are, I'll give you a little explanation of that. So with XPEL, I have a 35% tint on my windshield. Now, what does that mean? 35% tint means it's letting in 35% of the light. If you still want the same exact heat rejection and UV rejection benefits from the tint, you can even go with the 70%, which is the highest tint they offer, which lets in 70% of the light. It's from the outside, it's not really noticeable. You can kind of see in the car slightly less, not too much. It almost looks like a clear windshield. If you put two cars next to each other, you might be able to tell the difference, maybe not. The darker you go, which would be a 50% or 55%, 45, 35, the lower the number is, the darker the tint will be. So you can still get the same heat rejection benefits with a higher number on the tint. So if you just wanted your car to have the heat rejection without any darkness, you can go 70% all around the car. You're gonna get the heat rejection and the UV rejection. So this is great for your skin, great for your eyes, great for the materials inside the car as well. You're not gonna get that fading that you get from the sun over the years. If you're planning to keep your Tesla for 5, 10, 15 plus years, you can keep the interior nicer with a high quality ceramic tint. Now, don't get just a normal tint, a dyed tint. Those, we've seen them before, they start to turn purple after a few years, but they don't have any heat rejection properties. It's just a tint for looks, for privacy. You want a ceramic tint for heat, especially in the Teslas. Even with the Model Y Juniper roof being 7 times more heat refracting, you still have all the other windows to worry about. So to solve that, you can solve that with ceramic tint. And now with the ceramic tint and with the roof not tinted, because you don't need to tint the roof glass. Even on the previous car, I didn't tint the roof glass and I was fine. The car already, just the 2 minutes I drove to this parking lot here from the installer, I felt a huge difference already. I'm gonna show you guys some clips from the install here and do a little voiceover and show you guys the full process. And again, explain the difference from the different products that XPEL offers and have some more specific details for you up on the screen so that you can fully understand how the tinting process works, why you'd want to tint, the different tint numbers.
Tesla's frameless doors and huge panoramic glass roof make tinting a little trickier than most cars. Every piece is computer cut for precision, then heat formed to perfectly match the curves of the glass. The goal? No gaps, no light leaks, and no visible seams. As you can see here, Lee is using a file method to get the tint as close to the edge of the glass as possible. Meanwhile, most installers typically use a blade to bring it down a few millimeters below the edge of the window. With Lee's method here, you can see just how close he's getting to the edge of the glass, making it look like a very professional install.
So to break it all down for you. So I got my tint done at Lee Burbs LLC in Hillsborough, New Jersey. I had my tints previously done here as well. He also does paint protection film, he does ceramic coating, so he does all of those things for you. My previous car, I had paint protection film on the front bumper, I had ceramic coating on the full car, I had a 9-year ceramic coating from G-Technic, and then I had the full window tint. So I got the same exact tints that I got last time. I got a 35% tint on the windshield, 20% tint on the front 2 windows, and then 15% tint on the rest of the car, which is the rear windows, the quarter windows, and then the trunk glass. For the rear of the car, I want to keep that private. Especially if I have stuff in the trunk. I don't want anything being visible. For the side windows, for me and my girlfriend or whatever passenger I have, I do want a little bit more privacy so that not everyone who's next to me when I'm driving or in front of me for the windshield can see inside the car. They can still make out some figures and all, but you know, it's a little bit more private, and of course you get the heat rejection properties and everything. One thing I do have to say, and this is for anyone with a white interior, if you have a white interior and you want to have the privacy of a darker tint, compared to the black interior, you will have to go about 10% lower on the tint. So I went with a 35% tint with the white for the windshield. If I had a black interior, I probably would have went for a 45% tint on the windshield, because the black seats don't really show as much when you look inside the car, whereas the white seats really stick out. Even with a darker tint, you can still see the white seats. So you kind of have to go 10% darker to kind of mask out the white seats a little bit. As you can see, they're still visible there, but it's a lot better looking than when it was just clear. And of course, depending on the state you're in, you have to look at your state laws to see what's legal in your state. However, for a car that I drive, you know, once or twice a week and in very well lit areas, I'm not too worried about night driving. And during the day, I really went with the 35% tint on the windshield again, because I can drive the car now without having to wear sunglasses. I have 2 pairs of sunglasses. I never wear them. I've had them for years. I wear them maybe once or twice a year, especially if I'm just going to the beach or something, but I really hate wearing glasses in general. I wear contacts, so to avoid having to wear sunglasses, the tint helps a lot. It basically gives me sort of the feeling like I'm wearing sunglasses, but it almost gives me the same protection as sunglasses. Again, it's blocking the UVA and UVB rays by 99%, and it's protecting my eyes from the sun. So, and it's protecting my skin as well, which is great. So normal sunglasses are anywhere between 15% to 25% tint on the sunglasses. This is 35%. So you're almost there, but 35% is the absolute maximum I would go in terms of darkness if you're driving at night. You will notice a difference definitely, which is why I almost went for 45%. But for the outside look into the car, I really wanted to keep the same darkness as last time. I compared to my previous car, which I had 35% also. I watched some videos that I took inside the car, realized it's not as bad. And the area I live in, there are street lamps everywhere. I typically don't drive as much as I used to because I work in the city now. This is why I went for the darker tint. And once again, I really love it. For any of you that are local to the central New Jersey area, you can check out Lee Burbs LLC if you're interested in ceramic tint, PPF, or ceramic coating. And if you do go there, you can mention my name, the FITITGUY. You can let Lee know that I sent you. He did such a great job the first time. He's very professional when you're watching him do his work. You know, a lot of installers, especially for ceramic tint, they douse the car in a ton of water. They don't cover the dash or the doors like they're supposed to. You know, water drips into the electronics through the sides of the doors or in the dash. Lee's very professional. He uses a minimal amount of water, and I love the methods he uses for getting the absolute perfect tints. I was really impressed with his work last time, so that's why I drove an hour back to where I used to live to get the tints done by Lee. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you'll be considering ceramic tinting your car or PPF or ceramic coating. If I do decide to keep this car, it is a lease. I may go for the ceramic coating in the future. I really love the ceramic coating on my previous car. Made it so much easier to clean, and the car really stood out. It actually unlocked like another level of brightness in the paint that a lot of people complimented on anytime they saw my car versus other red Model Ys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Again, I have so much content planned for this car. Of course, I'm doing my normal product installations and reviews just for people to see what is possible for the car, what is out there. I've done so many modifications to the car already that just really enhance the experience. All of these are modifications and accessories that you know, some people may want, some people don't. So it's just cool to see what is possible for the car. I just enjoy installing things. I've always loved to tinker with cars, and with Tesla, there's really nothing mechanical other than the suspension to change. So I have to tinker more inside the car. It's fun for me, I enjoy doing it, and I can put out the videos for you guys so you can see what accessories you like and how to install them, and I really enjoy that. So stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.